we go. Morning, Facebook. It is afternoon. It's midday. Dead on. How was that?
It's pretty good.
That was like bang on the button.
It's very good.
Cool. How you doing? It's Monday. It's lunchtime. It has to be the Big Idea Podcast, episode 22.
3.
No, it's 22.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Get me panicking there. Let me just check that. This is 22.
Episode 22. Who'd have
And
thought?
okay. So, how are you doing, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Give us a like, give us a comment if you are out there, if you're watching. Today is a little bit unplanned, a little bit unplugged, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. There was a guest on our podcast, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mike Turner, a couple of weeks ago, and he posted something up on Facebook over the weekend, just asking his followers what's the one thing that you could do with help with in your business right now. And I think last time I looked, there was over 100 replies, wasn't there?
There were.
So we thought, hey, let's jump on that bandwagon. And because going through that thread this morning, we were having a conversation, and there was lots of things that we thought, yeah, we know what they need to do. We know what they need to do. Well, that's obvious what they need to do. They need to talk to us. They need to be in our group. And there's lots of comments, I think, in there that people of all sorts of businesses that we've dealt with, actually, they've got a lot of the same questions, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, hey, let's have a go at answering some of these questions on the fly. So I've actually not seen half of these questions. So
You haven't seen hardly any of the questions.
See if we can answer it and help these people out. Happy Monday, Daniel. How are you, mate? Good to see you, Hannah. Glad to see you're all here. Yeah, as always, guys, if you've got any questions, literally random questions. This is a bit of an Ask Me Anything today, isn't it?
This is an Ask Me Anything. Yep. If you pop them in there, I shall pick them up as we're going through here. Maybe not quite straight away, but we will pick them up as we're going along as well, rather than wait until the end, perhaps. I'll just filter them in. I'll just kind of like juggle the cards as they are.
Yeah.
See what we deal.
See how we go. This could work brilliantly, or this could be a total disaster. But hey, let's find out, shall we? Are you ready to hit record, mate?
Oh, you want me to do it?
No,
I'll never do this.
No,
Go on.
I don't mind.
I have no idea.
I'm not that precious over it.
I don't know how to do it. This is every month, the last week of the month, we have something called our GSD session with some of our other members. You might remember 4 episodes ago, there was a lot of crashing about in the background. It was our technical chap who does all our coding and things like that, who's really as quiet as a mouse usually, but just waits for us to go live.
As soon as we switch the microphone on, it's like and we just a little bit of a banging and a bit of an oh shit there, wasn't it?
Good shout out to our Stu then. That's it. Hi Stu.
So Stu, you're live on Facebook now.
Hello, that's it, yeah. Good answer. So that we do that every 4 weeks. We get all together and do these things. So that's why you may hear a little bit of a kerfuffle in the background. We'll apologise now for him, won't we, Stu? Yes.
And now we'll go for the live, polished version.
Yeah, this is where you need to be okay? And we don't want to talk about any films you might have watched until the end.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 22 of the Big Idea Podcast. John here as always alongside Jason. How are you, Jason?
I am very well, thank you, John.
Very good. And we're doing something a little bit different today, aren't we?
A little bit different, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got a bit of an Ask Me Anything episode. So we've got some questions that were asked actually by a guest we had on the podcast a few weeks ago. Mr. Mike Turner did a brilliant episode on networking for us.
He did, absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
And yeah, he asked the question over the weekend, what was the one thing that people needed help with in their business. Attracted over 100 replies last time I saw, and we thought, actually, you know what? There's a lot of the questions here are the sort of questions that we get asked on a daily basis. There's a lot of obvious questions here, or obvious answers to a lot of the questions, and there's some of the questions that I've not even seen that you're going to surprise me with.
Yep.
So we're going to see how this goes. So a bit of an Ask Me Anything. We've got our Facebook group live watching at the moment. Hello guys, if you're not already in there, bigidea.co.uk/Facebook, we'll get you in there, and yeah, so we're going to try and answer some questions from those guys live at the same time as going through the questions that I've not yet seen. This could be a total disaster.
Or it could be really insightful.
It is. Let's find out over the next 35 minutes. Cool. Have you got a question there for me, Jason?
John,
what's the first one?
I'd like to know how I can get myself 11 and a half months of annual paid leave, please.
Per decade, or?
No, I think per year. Annual leave, yeah, annual leave. I'd like to have 11 and a half months of paid annual leave. I've got my own business and I'd like to have a lot of holidays.
Cool, yeah, you can do that then.
Oh, thank you.
Of course you can. If you run your own business and it's a lifestyle business, you are in control of that lifestyle. So you design the business around the lifestyle. If you want 11 and a half months paid annual leave, you can do that. You're not going to get the size of business that you want necessarily if you're going to looking to build a massive conglomerate. But if you want a very nice lifestyle business, which means you travel the world and touch in with your staff for an hour a week or something like that, then yeah, grab yourself a copy of the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss and start booking some holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Next.
That's easy, isn't it? It's all about systems and processes and making sure that your business can run without you. So at the moment, for most small businesses, it is all about what you're doing for your business and working on it and things, isn't it? So it's finding a way of getting out of that rat run, basically, of having to do the work yourself and outsource as much as you can, either via staff or via third parties who can do the stuff that you're doing.
Be interested.
It frees up your time, doesn't it?
I'd be interested to know. So, a lady that's asked, she wants 11 and a half months paid annual leave. How much is she currently giving herself? Is she currently getting that half a month? Is that the jump she wants to make? Because I guess she doesn't really want 11 and a half months of holidays and half a month of working. But what level is she at now? Because if you know where you are now and you know where you want to go, you can just plot backwards and work out those baby steps.
Mm-hmm. So get in touch. Very good. That's what you want to say. The next one is admin staff or lead generators, sales type stuff. This is what they need at the moment. So I'm guessing it's a small business. It doesn't have as many customers as they'd like, and haven't the time themselves to go and find those customers, and would like to have somebody who can help them with that.
Yeah, so there's two very different things there, isn't it? Admin staff is kind of dealing with the paperwork, versus lead generator is generating more paperwork for the admin staff. So it's going to be interesting to know what their current role is. So many people don't want to think about the marketing, don't want to think about the lead gen. Hence, I'll get someone in to do that. Whereas actually sometimes they're the best person to be doing the marketing because they know the business more than they can talk about the heritage, they can talk about the story, the narrative that they've got within setting up that company. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know what their current role is, because this is the stuff I don't like doing. I don't like doing admin. I don't understand how to do lead gen or sales. So that's why I want to get that sort of person in.
Yeah, I mean, off the back of that comment, there's been, again, a couple of others that said, I could do with the same thing, thank you very much. So it does seem to be a common thread.
Well, I think that
people rather like to, because as you say, people don't really feel comfortable doing stuff like picking up the phone and asking for the sale, or picking up the phone and talking to customers about, even customers they've already had, hi, how are you getting on? Is there anything else you kind of need? Those kind of conversations, which are pretty easy to do because you've already got a relationship. It's not cold calling, but there are lots of business owners who just feel frightened of that.
Yeah, it's
I was going to say a little white phone, but there isn't one anymore, is it?
That works really, really well on an audio podcast. You're doing that action of picking up a telephone.
Yeah, but I didn't need to explain what I was doing.
Okay. Right. But yeah, we talked about it in the fear episode. People are scared of picking up the phone, but it's so impactful. We found that with our business, just literally picking up the phone and talking to our customers means that we can then tweak our products accordingly. So we're getting feedback that we wouldn't get. Our members would not necessarily give us the feedback that we need without us having spoken to them. And the comments we get, I can't believe there's a real person behind this website. Yeah, of course there is. It's so impactful, and it's so much so that we're looking at setting up a joint venture now doing just this. So if you are afraid of picking up the telephone and speaking to your customers or your potential customers, and you're afraid of picking up the telephone and asking for the sale, well, we've got potentially an outsourced solution for that problem. That actually, we've got on tap. You can literally pick up the phone, or your outsourced member of staff can pick up the phone for you, dial your customers, close the sale, ask the questions that you want them to ask, and feed back to you. So that's led from so many people we've spoken to saying, yeah, I know telesales is really important, and I know speaking to customers will lead me to make more money, but I don't like picking up the phone. And so we thought, well, we've seen in our business what an impact that's made. Mm-hmm. So,
to be fair, one of our private clients was exactly the same, to be honest. He didn't like picking up the phone and didn't do that, and we kind of made it his one thing to do for that particular week was to call an ex or a customer of his that had previously ordered from him and to give them a call, see how they were getting on. He did that and landed a large contract. So it was actually he did it at the right time for that particular business that he was talking to. But it works. It really does, because people forget about you. They don't remember. It's not their business to remember you, is it? It's your job to remind them. That's it. Okay, so needless to say, on this particular thread, with Mike Turner being the kind of king of networking, as we kind of portrayed him, and also rather good as his social media with his tindigital.com, his website, they do lots of social media, so there's a few social media questions which I'm going to polish over for now, because he's kind of the expert, and he should be really dealing with those, I guess. Yeah. That's the best thing to do. So a decisive government, there's so much we can do to help get a decisive government.
Oh, God, don't get me started. When was the election announced? It was last Tuesday during our podcast, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So we are 6 days in. I am fed up of Facebook already, because where's my soapbox?
We don't normally do politics.
I'm not going to, I'm not going to take any slants on it. I'm not going to, I've had one rant at this government already. I don't need another one. But I'm fed up already of people putting their political views on Facebook and assuming that everyone on Facebook is going to agree with them, or that you're going to somehow change someone's mind. We had it with Brexit, we had it with Trump. You're not going to get people to change their mind by shouting at them and telling them they're wrong. Mm-hmm. It's whether you're red, whether you're blue, whether you're yellow or green. It doesn't matter how much you shout that your side is right and the other side are vile scum and they're going to kill this country if they get in. How about you actually listen to part of what they're saying? Nobody that I've seen that is active on Facebook in terms of actual political ranting over the last week has been in any way listening to the other side. They are just spouting why their side is right and the other side is wrong. And there is a line there that can be merged, whether you're, say, red or blue, or whether you're Democrat or Republican in the States, There's a conversation to be had, and we're never going to have a united kingdom unless these parties do unite. Anyway, that's my little.
Is that your politics done now for today?
Yeah,
that's very good, isn't it?
That's my little.
I think what's interesting though, from a kind of a marketing and kind of like getting your message out there kind of thing, because I think from business owners it is important obviously to get your message out there, and it's to have a look at how the political parties are kind of doing it, because they've got to get their message out to a rather large audience. So it's kind of seeing what they're doing in order to do that, and how they try to get the audience to understand them, and how they get the audience to kind of feel them and feel their message and actually get to love them, if you like, and how they manage to engage them to become fans. I know when we talked about Trump taking over the White House, you kind of had that message about kind of polarisation, and actually it wasn't about getting everybody to love him. It was to get enough people to hate him to get him into the White House, wasn't it? And it's similar in our state, in our country. At least there's kind of two horse race. Over here you've kind of got 7, 8, 9, 10 people all trying to vie for your votes and things.
Yeah.
So have a look out and see how they're getting their message out.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we got a question in from one of our members, so Daniel. Morning, Daniel. He says, we're considering a funnel where the customer purchases their product, then they're asked to share a motivational image on Facebook. This action then displays a box with a button to reward their motivation with an offer on our upsell product. So, purchase, then share, then discount. Does this seem disjointed? Theory is sharers are more likely to be motivated to shed weight. Daniel works in the personal fitness gym market. thus more likely to purchase the upsell. I don't think that's disjointed. I think if they've, I mean, it's standard. You go from purchase to upsell, but you are putting another step in there, which is to share. But then that's almost utilising social proof and saying, hey, is that? Oh, look at me! I'm doing something about this. I'm taking action. And then once they have shared, then you get the upsell. So if they don't share, they don't see the upsell. Is that right?
I think just go on to say it's important to do a full check on your manual and automated processes. So I'm guessing that there is a system there in place to be able to do all of those things. I think with every single promotion you do, you kind of have to make it really easy for the customer to, one, understand, and two, to follow your process that you'd like them to take. If you make it too complicated, they'll drop off, and a certain percentage will drop off. So you kind of need to make it flawless for them, really, and understand what they're going to be getting, what they're going to be doing, what they need to, how to do what it is you want them to do. Otherwise, as I say, you kind of lose them along the way.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. Cool. What's next?
Well, should we have a question about funding? There's quite a few people who actually need some funding, whether that's funding for setting their business up or setting their business to the next level, really. They've got to a place where they are at the moment, but they'd like to, get to the next level. In order to do that, they need some capital in order to buy either hardware or upgrade their service, the stuff that they have at the moment.
Cool. Well, there's plenty of sources of funding out there. Despite anyone's sort of negativity about the state of the economy or anything like that, there's lots of people with lots of money out there, and there always have been. Even throughout times of austerity, times of recession, there's always people with money, and so many people. I remember going back to 2008, 2009, and just hearing constantly, "Oh, the banks aren't lending. The banks aren't lending." Well, the banks might not be lending, but ultra high net worth individuals certainly were lending. Take the looks locally of Chris Dawson, who went from being worth 100 million or so in 2007. He's now a billionaire because he took advantage of the funding that was available by seeking it. Not he didn't go to the bank and said, "Oh, can I have a loan for 10 grand, please?" But he was going to ultra high net worth individuals and saying, "Can you lend me 50 million quid so that I can buy the bankrupted, who did he buy there?
Furniture store.
Yeah. Who was that?
MFI.
MFI, yeah. All the MFI stock straight off the liquidator or straight off the administrator. Everyone that was going bust, all these massive chains that were all going under, he got them for, 10 pence on the pound or something like that. He got some fantastic deals. And then just went to high net worth individuals and said, "I've got the deal of the century," because it's the the thing of we haven't had a Warren Buffett quote for ages. Shall we have a Warren Buffett quote?
No. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So Warren Buffett's famous thing is the way to make money is to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, and that's exactly what Chris Dawson did. He went, everyone else was fearful. Oh no, what we're doing? The world's crashing down. The banks aren't lending. He went, "I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to say, how can I double up now? How can I get £10 for £2.50? How can I get £100 for 10 quid? And how can I get someone else to pay for it? How can I get £100 for £10 of someone else's money?" And that's exactly what he did. So there's always funding out there. We do investments ourselves now, so we're not necessarily ultra high worth, but if someone needs some equipment, or say that joint venture we're talking about with the telesales is effectively, someone needs help setting up a brand new business. So they have got no money, they've got a skill, they've got an idea that actually, if we provide them with the tools and equipment that they need, we provide them with the mentoring, we can actually get them set up. So if you're looking for a 5 to 10 grand investment, and you want someone to help you with the marketing, and you've got the killer idea, or you've got a business that's working, but you need an injection of cash, an injection of someone who actually knows the marketing, someone who knows how to get customers, then let's have a conversation, because that is what we do. We work with small businesses, we mentor small businesses, but we also invest in small businesses. We don't invest in tech startups. If you're looking for a £5 million exit via an IPO or to flip it to another company, that is not what we do. If you are, I don't know, a florist who is looking to actually put some systems and processes in place, get some marketing going, and actually make some money, yes, we can have a conversation there.
Mm-hmm.
But Funding Circle, the banks are currently lending at the moment if you can actually make a business case for them. Yeah. And there's always money out there.
It's crowdfunder. There's lots of peer-to-peer lending, they call it, isn't it?
Yeah. Regardless of when you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to this the day after the world's biggest depression has kicked off, there's funding available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's lots of people out there who've got some money left. If people lose money, people are always making money. Be fearful when others are greedy when others are fearful.
Thank you, Warren.
Yes. Whatever. It's been too long since we had a Warren Buffett quote,
It has been a little while, hasn't it? Yep, nothing over there for Daniel. Right, okay, so the next one is a cloning machine to clone myself. Here's I think a mindset of a small business owner which is wrong.
Trying to do everything yourself?
Which is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need a cloning machine. You don't, because you know your business the best, and you might feel like you're the only person who can do your particular business, but you're not, is what I'd say. You can be best at elements of it. You may be a master craftsman or something like that, maybe, and that is that is your forte, that is your strength. But there's lots of parts of your business which isn't your strength and aren't your forte. So for those bits, you can certainly
It's a common thing.
Common
thing we see it with our private clients is you need to let go. Oh, but I can. Nobody can do it as better than me. Well, yes, they can. Just let go a little bit.
That's it.
Oh, and then he went into Frozen. Then let it go. No, not going to do that. Next question.
That's very good, isn't it? Very good. That's on investing. We'll move on from that. It's a website. That's Mike Turner's job. That's good. Someone in my office to help with a massive paperwork. We've talked about outsourcing to virtual assistants, VAs, haven't we?
Yeah. Don't necessarily need to be in your office. Can outsource to a third party.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
For the next one, I'm going to go back to our joint venture type of our joint venture episode that we did a couple of weeks ago. Somebody's looking for a distributor for their particular product. Look for who's complementary to what you're doing in order to get up a joint venture, because there's stuff that you can do that will help them and vice versa.
Yeah. So many, great businesses have been set up along those exact lines of, well, we've got an audience, it's a shared audience, we're not competing in any way, so let's share that audience.
Mm-hmm. Decisive customers.
Is that the same person that wanted a decisive government?
No. Strangely not.
Well, again, the decisive customers says that your sales process isn't asking them to make a decision. So are you giving them a deadline?
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving them this will go away at 5 p.m. tonight? Buy now or you've missed out. Ask them to make a decision. Because customers will not be decisive off their own backs.
And the decision may well be no if you don't give them the right information or you don't give them the right process to get into. Going back to Daniel kind of thing, really, where he was looking to do the upsell. If you don't make it easy for them and you don't ask at the right times for the right information, then they're going to be a no, aren't they? And that is decisive.
And that's fine. And that's fine because so many people are afraid of that no.
Mm-hmm.
We had this conversation with one of our private clients. He was a handyman, and we were trying to get him to charge more for his services, and he kept, but I won't win the quote. It's like, you don't have to get 100% win rate on your quotes. If you're getting 100% win rate, if you're winning every job that you're quoting for, you're not charging enough.
Mm-hmm.
I would look to say, well, what's the optimum? Can we win 50% of our quotes at this price versus winning 70% at this price? Which makes more money? The one that we're quoting 50%, and that means you've actually got to do less work for it. Brilliant. I love no's, because no's tell me, I'll say, okay, no. Why not? Mm-hmm. Oh, because X, Y, Z. Okay, you've given me some objections that I need to counter in my marketing there. Mm-hmm. Or you've told me that you're not the right person for this product, so my marketing is wrong because I've attracted the wrong type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So, decisive customers come from decisive marketing.
and the right system in place to get them from A to B.
Absolutely.
Okay, what we've got? Motivation.
Motivation's what you need if you want to be the best. No, that was dedication, wasn't it?
That was dedication, mate. You need a bit of that as well in business.
Still,
but motivation, I mean, for me, I think there's two kind of pathways there. There's the kind of the mind and body, and that's kind of coaching and getting yourself kind of straight. And there's the business coaching as well, where you've got somebody who's kind of holding you accountable to getting you what you want basically from your business, isn't there? And then to provide you that public accountability, or just that accountability to somebody else, which then is your motivation. I think from this chap's thing it was a little bit about getting their head in the right place and actually getting up on a Monday morning and doing what they needed to do to make the business go further. So what kind of ideas have you got there?
Well, then if you love what you do and you bound out of bed on a Monday morning, keen to take on the world and achieve your goals, because you know, well, actually, if I do this, then we're going to achieve massive things, and that's going to have this impact on my life. I think that's a lot easier to get out of bed. When you don't see a purpose for getting out of bed on a Monday morning, that's when things get really dangerous. When you think, well, what's the point? You need to see, what is the purpose? What's the reason for me actually getting up on a Monday morning and doing this? I think I'd take a really close look at whether you're enjoying what you do and whether you're doing the right thing.
I think that's some of the thing is are you doing the right thing for yourself at that particular time? Because if you're fretting over or working on something which you're not sure about, and you then kind of focus your eyes on the wrong ball, if that makes sense, you just got to kind of know what your kind of plan is, really. I think going back to our goal setting plan would be rather good. That episode would be a good shout, really.
Maybe the one thing as well, because quite often lack of motivation comes from a lack of clarity about what to do. Because I've got so much to do, I don't know where to start. So what's the one thing? Mm-hmm. And let's get motivated to do that one thing and that one thing only. I'm in the middle of writing my book at the moment, and I've got a pretty firm deadline, and it's tough now. I mean, I've got to block out entire days for writing, and it's motivation to write is becoming quite tough. And in terms of getting motivated to do that, it's as simple as, I'm just going to get 2 paragraphs done, and that's it. Once I've got those 2 paragraphs, I've started, haven't I? Mm-hmm. So I'm in the flow with it. But if I was to sat there and go, I've got to write a chapter now, I've got to write 2,000 words. And I'm sat there looking at this blinking cursor, going, where's 2,000 words coming from? Whereas 2 paragraphs is like, well, let's just get 2 crap paragraphs written, and then I can always edit them later. And then before you know it, the second paragraph turns into a third, which then before you know it, I've done a page of A4 and I'm off. But 2 paragraphs. We said before about 1 press up, didn't we? Mm-hmm. About getting motivated to just do something.
See, I don't do press ups. I think that's where we went from. I still haven't done that 1 press up either, but
that's what we're saying. It's really easy, and
but it was a really good bird that went past that window just now. So it's okay. I don't need to do the press up. It's fine. But you're absolutely right. It's just do 1 press up, and you can do another one the next day. By the end of that week,
trying to do 2.
You can probably be doing 2. There's no point starting off with 10, because that's just not an achievable. Not for me anyway. Not an achievable goal, but certainly getting that one out of the way and then following another one. I like it. Yeah. I haven't done it, but I like it.
Should I know what
I never really wanted to do press up, so that's fine. But there we go. Got you.
Dan from our Facebook group has just posted an S Club 7 quote about motivation, which I would read out, but I can't get the tune in my head. So
don't stop, never give up, hold your head high and reach the top. Let the world see what you have got. Bring it on back for me. Something like that anyway, isn't it? Do you want dancing too? No, we don't have to dancing.
Wow. Okay.
That's S Club, you've got to love it, haven't you?
No,
we could have had Reach for the Stars, couldn't we? We could have had that one, Dan, can we?
That's on the ambition question we got next, I think. We will answer the remainder questions in the form of S Club 7 songs.
Oh dear, you have hit my limit though.
I'd say that is my repertoire gone now, I think, so yeah.
Oh dear, yeah, all good, all good. PA, that's somebody, well, again, we've talked about VAs and stuff, so that's not really, don't need to do that one there. Branding, so here we go. So what is your one thing, John, that you need to most help with in your business?
I know where you go with this.
Well, there are too many things to say. Branding is a big one, and cash flow is another.
Well, at least they've gone for two. You know, I've asked this question before. What's the one thing you need to work on? They list off 5 or 6.
True. But there are too many to mention.
Well, there aren't, because one thing takes priority over all the others. No, they're not.
One thing should.
You know, that's
order. Yes.
the other thing about a priority being a singular term. You know, you don't have priorities. You have a priority. That is the one thing that is more important than anything else. So what did she say it was? Branding and cash flow. 2 very different things.
Branding is a big one, and cash flow is another.
Okay, so those are obviously her. Is it her? Yes, her 2 biggest issues.
But branding, that's such a big thing too, isn't it?
It is. It is very big.
And how important is that to her at this time?
Yeah, is it time critical? Cash flow, that can be very much time critical. Whereas I think branding could probably wait a week, couldn't it?
It could.
Whereas cash flow, you might need to sort that today.
I mean, to be fair, there's no indication of where they are in their business at the moment,
no,
or
exactly.
where they've got to go. So we don't really know even what the business is.
I don't want to give too much specific advice on cash flow. We're going to bring Tracy Owen, our accountant, in about 4 weeks' time. She's going to do an episode on cash flow, numbers, everything like that. So if there's any questions you want to get related to knowing your numbers, or cash flow, business finance, raising finance, anything like that, get them in over the next couple of weeks. But so many people say cash flow, and sometimes it's cash flow in terms of, well, the business model works, it's profitable, but we just, people are paying us after 90 days when we're paying everyone in 7 days, in which case, look at your payment terms, get that money in quicker.
I mean, within that kind of answer, really, I mean, one that I hear an awful lot is, what's the one thing? Oh, marketing, and marketing is the answer to that question. That is the one thing that I need the most help with. And again, that marketing is a big banner. Branding is a big banner. Cash flow isn't such. That's an easy one to pick at, and to actually, that's your desperate thing right now. Then that's absolutely where you need to be looking.
But there's a crucial thing here, right? Because it may not be cash flow. That's the problem. It may be there's no cash because that was close. Because the bloody business doesn't work. The business model is wrong. The business model is flawed. And if cash flow is an issue, speak to a professional about whether cash flow is an issue or whether your pricing is an issue, whether your entire business model is an issue. Because I've seen it so many times. People go, oh yeah, well, we've run out of money. It was just cash flow. And then you actually look at the books and you're like, well, no, it wasn't, because you failed to take into account your overheads, you failed to take into account any marketing spend whatsoever, or you've messed up your pricing so bad that the more you sell, the more money you lose. And I've seen it, so I'm just really keen to make sure that people understand.
Well, we fell into that trap a bit, haven't we? With different things. Certainly, Google is a good place that you can kind of throw an awful lot of money at, and if you haven't got your finger on the pulse and you're not keeping an eye on what you're spending, sort of thing, you can spend £3 or £4 getting a customer in, but the margins there, you're only earning 60 or 70 pence from that particular customer, and with no processes in place to notice what you're spending, but also no processes in place to make sure that they're going to buy from you again. It's great to have a kind of loss leader. Sometimes that works for some models, that can work, as long as you can resell to them. But if you're not doing those things, and actually you're kind of like, I've got that revenue, but I've had that expenditure, it's you do need to keep an eye on it. Cash flow is a whole thing, perhaps a whole topic of its own.
So we'll raise up with Tracy, definitely, because she'll be all over that.
Closing sales with companies.
See, again, that's a fear of selling. To me, that just says, I want someone to close the sale because I don't want to do it. It is asking for the sale again. Well, obviously we're going to target this when we got our joint venture up. We will have that person who will close the sale for you, but I would still be very keen as a business owner to develop that skill myself, because it is a skill, it can be developed. What are they doing at the moment to close the sale? Are they asking for the sale?
Well, never sold anything before.
All right. That's
No process.
Right. Okay.
Just talk to the client, email them what I can do for them, and then chase them about a few weeks later and go from there.
That's selling, isn't it?
I don't think that's selling.
Talking to the client, finding out what they need, emailing them over details
What
of
you
what
can
they
do
can
for
do
them.
for them, and then chasing them, following up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's selling.
That's selling. And there's a process there as well, wasn't there?
I think that's the same sort of process.
Yeah.
I think this person's doing themselves an injustice there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No worries. So, process, get your processes in place. Fantastic. Yeah. A bit more funding coming on there with the next one. Yeah. More business clients that need motivation and focus so that they can coach them. Again, that's kind of like what I'm going to do for you. That's a bit of a... Actually, I'm selling my service here, but I'll...
Yeah, it's a subtle sell, isn't it?
It is a subtle sell. That's it,
It's
yeah.
like the humble brag, but it's the humble sell.
So generating more clients, bums on seats, and yeah, more business clients that need their particular service.
Marketing,
So that's what marketing really is, isn't
Yeah.
it? And in a brief summary of that,
more of it.
more. Is it a little bit about understanding something?
But bums on seats for what? For an event? For a regular thing? You know, is it? You know, what's
For
he
this
selling?
particular chap,
Yeah.
yeah, he's event, I think we can call it.
But is it a regular event? Or is it a one-off event? Is it
Oh, it's a touring event.
a touring event?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think this one's a bus.
Okay.
I think.
I mean, for most bums on seats things, it's building a list, building a sense of scarcity, limited tickets, building a sense of urgency. We've got early bird offers. We've got all this, teasing what the content's going to be, and just giving people lots and lots of opportunities to take action, and reminding them, giving them the key benefits as to why they need to be, why their bum needs to be on that seat.
Because they have to invest their time, they have to invest their money to do whatever it is you're offering them to do. So you've got to tell them why they need to invest with you,
Yeah.
why you and not someone else. Why don't I go to the pub for a pint
Yeah.
instead of coming to listen to you talking to me about whatever it is you're talking
Yeah.
about? So you've got to do it. It's yeah.
It's the same as any marketing. Just give them reasons to take action, and then tell them to take action, and tell them very specifically what you want them to do and when you want them to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's our little list there, I think, mate.
That's it. Are we done?
That's
Are we?
very good.
was
That is
pretty
our list there.
So-
Joe loves our singing, which is rather good. Joe's in our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group which we are streaming this out to live every Monday lunchtime. That is bigidea.co.uk/Facebook. And we've had a couple of questions from there, from Daniel and from Joe. Well, Joe hasn't asked a question, she just loves my singing, which, to be fair, I think there's a few people who do.
So clearly the question that Joe's asking is, can we have a finishing song from Mr. Jason Brockman?
Oh, really?
You can choose whatever song you like.
Oh, that's dangerous. No, it's
That's
not. It's
dangerous.
probably not
What,
good.
Michael Jackson, dangerous?
It's probably not great, to be fair. Oh dear. If there's enough requests for it later, maybe, you never know.
Cool, get your requests in now, guys. That's obviously the key thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's something a little bit different. I've quite enjoyed it. I think that's quite worked.
Yeah.
A little bit of a Ask Me Anything. We may do that one again in the future. Cool. Other than that, all that remains for us to say is thank you for tuning in. Show notes will always, as always, be on the podcast website thing, which is bigidea.co.uk/podcast. Expertly done. Cool.
Excellent, well done, yeah. And if you're not in our Facebook group and you're not watching us live, then please get yourself across there. Just
Just
to
to stop you there, we've had a first request in. Oh, we've had a second. We've had two requests for
a
your singing.
sing. That's only two, I'm afraid. That's not enough, is it?
Hang on.
I need a bigger audience.
Oh, we've got the three now. That's another one's just come in. Just as
That's good. We're going to sign off our podcast now at this stage, and perhaps we could take this up in our private group. So if you want to hear the singing that I may do
so it'll be
after
live on
we've
the
shut
Facebook
off,
group.
you might see it live in our Facebook group. For ambitious lifestyle businesses, you need to go to bigidea.co.uk/Facebook.
Cool.
Thanks for listening this week, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
See you later. Bye bye.
Right, get off that
What's it going to be then?
thing that you're recording. I don't know. What is it? See, I've got some karaoke tracks which I do sing quite frequently. So you could have a choice of.
Sweet Transvestite, is it going to be?
There's Sweet Transvestite. That's up there. That's not my personal favourite, but is the personal favourite of those that I go and see karaoke with. So Sweet Transvestite. What else do we do?
No.
Did you like what I did there?
Let's be clear on that. There's no we here.
Did you like what I did there? Oh dear.
There's no I in team.
Oh dear, no, we can't do that. Well, there's a bit of combined harvester, which we could do combined harvester. We could do Great Walls of Fire. We do that one as well. There's a few we do, but maybe not today. We'll save that for. We'll tease you with those a little. Maybe during the week. You never know.
Well, next time we go out karaoke, then Facebook Live.
Facebook Live. Maybe.
And watch our numbers drop.
Yeah. So, guys, have you got any questions for us? We've been doing lots of ad-libbing today, so have you got anything for us? Joe, you got a question, I know.
Just waiting to ask it in a minute, isn't she?
Are you saving yourself?
She may be.
Okay.
There's
always a delay between the live bit, isn't there?
It's about 20 seconds, so we could be sat there for a long, long time while people go. Question,
Excellent, guys. Anyway, so brilliant to see you this week. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's a little bit different, asking lots of different questions, not really a specific topic. There's lots of things that you can I'm saving it. Good on you, Joe. There's lots of areas there which I've covered in previous episodes. So if you haven't seen any of those yet, then perhaps go back and check them. Certainly the goal setting one. Certainly the one thing is another important one to do.
Yeah.
Overcoming your fear. That's another good one as well, because as you saw in that list of business questions that they kind of had, fear does crop up a lot, and that's just
mindset.
Fear and mindset, yeah, not wanting to pick up the phone, or not wanting to do this, or not going out to meet people for networking, or not wanting to mix with people. Actually, I'll just wait for word of mouth because my customers come to me that way.
I have to do everything myself. I need clones of me.
Yeah, it's all there. So next week we'll be doing something completely different, I am sure. For now, though, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Certainly has. Have a great week, guys.
Take care of yourselves.
We'll see you on the other side. Bye bye.